thought of the name Malayan because one of the inspirations in the creation of the school was our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, the pride of the Malay race, who once walked this part of the country just a little over a century ago.
Our mission is to be a global staple of excellence in professional education and research.
MCL is the #1 private school in Calabarzon.
Our mission is to provide the learning environment that would transform our students into globally competitive professionals.
To produce social wealth from the generation of new talents.
Excellence, loyalty, teamwork, discipline, and urgency. These are our core values.
To me, MCL is home.
Malayan is not just the buildings, the grounds, nor the facilities. More so, it is the people who comprise the institution. The smile of a student when he realizes that he just learned something. The embrace of friends without whom one cannot live. The values we instill, excellence and virtue.
MCL is home.
MCL is home.
MCL is home.
I am Malayan.
I am Malayan.
I am
Malay.
I am Malayan. I am Malayan.
Good morning once again. Welcome to Malayan Colleges Laguna, Amapua School. Welcome to Viewpoints, an online meeting which we designed for our beloved parents and the new students for academic year 2020-2021. So sana po ay safe kayo sa inyong mga tahanan at sana rin po ay magstay kayo sa ating session. Checking now, we have 64 participants for Viewpoints. So para po sa ngayon lang naka-attend ng Viewpoints, we conceptualize this online meeting specifically for the new students and parents because we want to engage them to a meaningful discussion about what is education in the new normal. So I'll be moderating the session for this morning. I am Professor James Ronald Messina. I head the admissions office and the registrar's office. And with me is one of my esteemed colleagues in the College of Arts and Science and Malayan Colleges Laguna, si Professor Abigail Rodelas Angelia. So introduce ko po siya properly later. Viewpoints for this session is quite new because we'll be concentrating more on the flexible learning options. So we do understand that parents have a lot of questions in mind, pati rin yung mga estudyante natin, ano nga ba ang kahihinatnan ng education under the new normal? And it's very timely that our President, Dr. Reynaldo Vivea, who is also the President of Mapua University, accommodated an interview request from ANC last Thursday. And parang yun na yung the best opening remarks for this Viewpoint session. So, coming from our President, ano po ba ang direksyon ng flexible learning options for MCL? And I think many educational institutions would agree with me, even though hindi po nila ako spokesperson, I'm only speaking on behalf of Malayan Colleges Laguna. Pero sila po ay makaka-relate sa akin as I say na lahat po ng educational institutions ngayon ay aligaga, if I may use the Tagalog term. Meaning, lahat po ay uncertain, hindi pa sigurado kung ano mangyayari. But what is important is that we educational institutions are planning ahead so that yung amin pong mga anticipated scenarios kung dumating, meron tayong nakahandang solusyon. And we do not want that to be a secret. That's why we are sharing that to our parents and to our prospective students through Viewpoints. So salamat po dun sa ating 66 participants na magjo-join sa atin for this morning. And I'm also happy that Ma'am Abby, nandyan ka na ba?
Yes, Sir James. Good
Abby?
morning. Happy birthday.
So, good morning. Nakakatuwa dahil napaka-excited ng ating mga students na pinapractice yung raising hand. Actually, this is a virtual classroom. So, pag nag-raise kayo ng hand, parang yan yung pagtataas nyo din ng kamay sa loob ng classroom. So, this is an interactive discussion. So, I have been replying already to some of the concerns and questions of our parents. Thank you very much. Later on po, after the presentation, we'll have an open forum. So if you have a microphone or gusto nyo makita rin kayo sa ating live session, may camera po kayo, you may want to be ready with those devices so that you can raise your concerns later. Pwede nyo po yung i-voice over para makita kayo at marinig kayo ng ating participants. So, about the expectations about these viewpoints, ito po ay isang focused discussion as requested by the parents from the past 5 sessions of viewpoints na, okay, the explanation sounds satisfying about how education in the new normal will happen. Pero pwede bang meron tayong konting walkthrough? Parang mas gusto namin ma-experience, ma-visualize kung ano ba ang capability ng school to deliver online learning through the learning management system na sinasabi nyo, which is Blackboard Learn. And that's what we are going to do for this morning. We are using Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Collaborate. So ito po yung ginagamit ng mga students namin for online learning. So the teachers are doing their lectures to this LMS. And at least this morning, you'll have a very interactive experience with us with the Blackboard Collaborate. So, ayun po. So, online learning, flexible learning options under the new normal. So, kanina tinatanong yung aming president sa interview, are we saying that the Philippines is ready infrastructure-wise and culture-wise to go and to proceed with online learning? So, nasagot naman po ng President yon, but to elaborate more is that yung readiness po kasi, umuusod yan. Yung nga dun sa mga previous viewpoint sessions, yung call for readiness for the Philippines to be ready about e-learning has been there since what? 10 years after the birth of internet and after that technology was brought to the Philippines. The only problem was that we did not give it a chance. So, dinefer natin ang dinefer, pinospone natin ang postpone kung kailan tayo mag-online learning. And now that the online learning basically is becoming the popular choice and the only choice actually for learning under the new normal, dahil sinabi naman ng ating president na walang klase, walang face-to-face classes hanggat walang bakuna. So, online learning po ngayon ang lumalabas na available option para sa atin. And we're asking the same questions about readiness in terms of culture and infrastructure that we have that were raised already for us for 20 years already. Kaya umusod po yan. Sabihin, hanggat hindi natin kinokondisyon yung ating mga mind, yung ating mga isipan, developing a mindset that we need to be ready now, hindi tayo makaka-advance, hindi tayo magiging ready. So hopefully with our discussion this morning, you will be given a glimpse of how online learning works so that it will be easier for all of us to give it a try and give it a chance, and to consider also that our students need to learn. Education, learning must continue even at the midst of this pandemic. And in the process, we need several adjustments. And hopefully, as we walk through with Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Collaborate, we'll appreciate online learning. And we see that the schools, not only Malayan Colleges Laguna, have been adjusting to deliver quality education under the new normal. So the next question would be, what adjustments can we make as parents, as learners, so that we can make online learning succeed? And definitely it will be for our benefit. So introduce ko po ang ating speaker. So Professor Abigail Rodelas Angelia is a faculty member of the College of Arts and Science. She is also the director of the Office for Educational Content Management of Malayan Colleges Laguna. And kasama ko na po siya sa MCL since 2008. And for several engagements and projects already, we have been working to teach and train teachers for several years already. We have been partnering with the Department of Education in training the teachers about how to give good assessments, changing mindsets about pedagogies of teaching and learning, at napakarami pang iba. So, wag na po nating pahabain. So, Professor Abigail is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Her graduate degree is also from the same university, and she also took graduate studies in South Korea. So, marami po nakakakilala sa kanya dahil sa kanyang passion for teaching and passion for innovating the delivery of instruction. And pag ginugel nyo po yung Malayan College Laguna and Blackboard Learn, kasama na po siya sa history ng Learning Environments and Innovations of MCL, dahil siya po ay isa sa mga kinikilalang champions of Blackboard Learn, because she literally propelled the startup of MCL's use of the LMS and all our efforts to improve instruction through the learning management system. Okay, so she's reconnecting po. So I'm here at Malayan Colleges Laguna. Nasa bahay po kasi siya dahil hindi naman kami pwede magsama-sama in one room for this session. So let's wait for the connection. So ayan sinasabi na, ayan ang hirap. We're talking about online learning but the problem is internet. Diba? Wala naman pong perfect solution when it comes to delivery of instruction. Sabihin, kahit naman sa typical na classroom lecture, may mga tinatawag na bloopers. May mga tinatawag na mga glitches. Ang nakasanayan lang natin is, pag nagkaroon ng failure, for example, yung PowerPoint presentation ni teacher sa loob ng classroom, hindi naman pinagtatawanan ng mga estudyante. Nag-a-adjust yung mga estudyante na, sige, hintayin natin, nagbabuffer yung internet connection. And those are the adjustments that everyone is doing just for education, just for learning to continue. So yan din po ang sinasabi natin. We're not saying that Blackboard Learn, the learning management system, is a perfect system. But that's the only thing that we have at present. Yan lang po ang meron tayo ngayon na pwede nating gamitin. And it's not really a cheap learning management system. We're paying millions for our subscription with the BBL. That's how our students call it. BBL, meaning Blackboard Learn. And kaya po tayo gumagastos dito ay dahil dito sa interactivity na to, dahil dito sa virtual classroom environment na binibigay sa atin ng Blackboard Learn. Meron po mga freeware. Meron pong mga free learning management system that we can use. We started e-learning at Malayan Colleges Laguna as early as 2008. So, hindi siya bago. And at that time, since we're only starting up, syempre, pag ganun, cost-cutting tayo. So, we use the Moodle at that time, which is also a good learning management system. So, yung mga success stories ng alumni, success stories sa board exam, mataas na employability at yung magagandang words ng mga employers about MCL graduates, it's all about academic preparation. And yung academic preparation ay na-augment because of the learning management system and the e-learning program that we had at the time. But we told our stakeholders we must not settle for what we have already. We need to always innovate. That's why in 2015, we start talking with Blackboard Learn so that we can purchase the LMS. And medyo mahal nga lang, pero yung contribution nito sa interactivity ng learning environment is very valuable. So, dahil marami ng estudyante ang MCL noong 2015, ay binili na natin yung license for Blackboard Learn, and so far napaka-effective naman po ang result sa ating mga students. Eh ngayon, tayo ay pumupunta na sa new normal na yung online learning ay importante at ito na yung magiging norm for education. May mga nagtatanong, nare-receive nyo po ba yung messages namin? Yes, nare-receive po namin. Yan, so I will try to address some of the questions while we are waiting for the demonstration of Ma'am Abby. August 17, mag-start na po ba ang classes? We will open the new academic year in August 17, 2020. But the President of the Republic of the Philippines has already made the announcement, his stand, that we will not open the classrooms, the schools for face-to-face classes kahit na mag-August 24 na. So yung school year po natin at MCL will start August 17, but that will be online. Wala pong face-to-face sessions because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, sana po malinaw po, August 17, start of classes, but no face-to-face classes. Blackboard Learn needs password and name. Paano kami makakakuha ng username and password? Mag-enroll po. So we're giving out the Blackboard Learn username and password for our students who will be enrolling. So dahil yung ating pong remote enrollment will be through Blackboard Learn also. So yung mga students po natin na nagtatanong sila na paano po magpapasa ng mga documents. So lagi po namin sinasabi through Blackboard Learn. At sila ay nagtatanong na bakit ganito hindi namin mahanap, di ba? So sabi ko nga, nasa new normal na tayo. Kailangan nating mag-adjust dun sa ganyang learning environment. So, kailangan po, pag-aralan natin yung Blackboard Learn para tayo ay matuto, para tayo ay maka-adjust dun sa bagong sistema. Okay po tayo doon. So, natutuwa po kami sa mga sinasabi dito na I prefer to enroll online. And as the government says, it is safe for students kesa mag face-to-face. Are we ensured that we will still at online schooling? Ayan. Kaya nga ba ang sinasabi, flexible options. So, naniintindihan po namin na ang number one consideration ng parents ay safety. Ang number one consideration po ng ating mga enrollees and students ay papaano tayo magkaklase kung wala pang bakuna. Presidente nga din po yun ang sinasabi at napakalinaw po dyan. Susunod po tayo dyan. Kaya yung flexible options, how do we make flexible options flexible? That's a very interesting question even though we beg the question. Paano ba at gaano ba ka-flexible? Pag sinabi flexible options, dapat may mga available options other than our usual setup in education. So, 5 options po ang binibigay ng DepEd at ganoon din ang Commission on Higher Education. Meron tayong tinatawag na face-to-face, merong blended, merong homeschooling, merong apprenticeship, at merong, ano yung isa? We have blended, we have homeschooling, apprenticeship, face-to-face. The one is, nakalimutan ko isa. So, yung 4 na lang po na yon na pinag-uusapan natin, lahat po na yan supposed to be ay available sa mga paaralan for we to say that we are adopting the flexible learning options. So ano ba yung flexible learning options? Blended learning, combination ng face-to-face at saka online. Yung palang pang-5, yung fully online. So, pag blended, combination ng online learning at saka po face-to-face. Hindi nga po pwede yung face-to-face. So, ibig sabihin, pupunta tayo dun sa isang alternative which is basically online. So, ang next question will be readiness. So, sabi ni DepEd, ang gagamitin nila ay internet at saka radyo at TV. Wala naman pong problema tayo doon kasi iba din naman ang hamon ng DepEd to run more than 20,000 schools in the country. Basic education pa lang po yan. So, yung mga issues about connectivity, about infrastructure, damang-dama po yan ng Department of Education. Now, private schools, kaya po tayo nagbabayad ng mas mahal sa private schools, ay dahil we are expecting something different in terms of the delivery of instruction. So, meaning to say, private schools must offer something above, something with premium other than the radio and TV. Kaya napaka-importante po ng learning management system. So, kung walang face-to-face classes, the next question would be, is the school capable to deliver online learning? So, yun po ang i-decide natin sa ating mga sarili. What school can offer online learning as a substitute to face-to-face classes at the time of the pandemic. Okay po tayo doon. So, sana nasagot ko yung tanong kanina. About the tuition fee po, meron po akong dalawang good news. Ano po yung ating dalawang good news? Number 1, last December, we applied for an increase in tuition. Sabihin nung nanay, nandyan, kitang-kita ko yung reaction ni mother. Bakit naging good news yan? Increase nga in tuition. Kasi may kadugtong pa po yung kwento ko. So, ang good news po doon ay December may application for increase in tuition, but we will not push through with the increase. Sabi nga nung mga nasa Facebook na puro nega ang sinasabi, ano raw meron sa 2020, kapapasok pa lang Taal, may mga namatay na kilalang personality, then ngayon naman pandemic, sasabayan pa natin ng tuition fee increase. So para namang walang matutuwa, di ba po? So kami po ay sensitive naman dyan sa bagay na yan. So we will let go of the tuition fee increase for academic year 2020-2021. Ito po, sa lahat ng private schools, ang increase po sa tuition, lahat po yan napupunta sa salaries ng mga faculty members and employees. Pangalawa po doon, yung mga improvements in the infrastructure and facilities of the school. Kasi po tayo, nabuhay tayo sa eskwelahan na happy na tayo na may mga simple amenities. Ngayon po, mga estudyante, tsaka minsan pati magulang, lahat na ay hinahanap sa eskwelahan. Kailangan may gym, kailangan may library, yung anak ko atleta, kailangan may matutulugan. Napakahirap pong ibigay ng lahat ng nire-request ng mga magulang. Bakit? Because we need to strike the balance between providing good educational facilities and at the same time, keeping our fees reasonable and affordable from the end also of the parents. So doon na pupunta yung tuition fee increase. As promised, we will not increase for the new academic year. That's the first good news. Second good news, we will also be adjusting the fees for the upcoming academic year. Dahil sabi nga natin, fully online, ano ang gagawin natin dun sa mga miscellaneous fees na hindi naman gagamitin ng mga estudyante. So, tatagalin po natin yan para hindi yan masingil sa inyo. So, yun po ang maipapangako namin sa inyo na dalawang magandang balita. Walang tuition fee increase, bababa pa ang tuition fee because of the adjustments. But I would like to seek the understanding and cooperation of the parents to give us more time to calibrate the fees para po yung ibibigay namin sa inyo, eh, yun na yung fees na babayaran ninyo. Dito po sa school namin, wala po kaming reputasyon na nakabayad na ng tuition, tapos sa kalagitnaan ng school year, may sisingilin na magazine, may sisingilin na ganitong bayarin dahil student activities, so on and so forth. Meron pang mga ganun-ganun, mga ilan-ilan po, initiated po yan ng students. Pero po yung mga additional na sinisingil, wala po tayong ganun hanggat maaari. Kaya po humingi po kami ng pangunawa, nabigyan kami ng oras. So yung mabibigay naming fees ay medyo final na po yun para hindi tayo nag-adjust later on. Yan. So, we will address other concerns po about enrollment, but for now, as promised po, shift to our main topic, which is about flexible learning in the new normal. Again, join me in welcoming our speaker for this morning. So, Professor Abby, andyan na po siya.
Thank you, Sir James. All right. So for today, just like what was mentioned earlier by Sir James, my goal is to be able to walk you through all of the tools that we're using at MCL. And also, I'll share with you some characteristics or truths about learning in the new normal. Okay, so one of the first tools that have been really valuable when COVID-19 started is a web conferencing tool which we call Blackboard Collaborate. And nandito po tayo ngayon sa Blackboard Collaborate. Can you, I'd like to check if you can see my screen.
Yes.
So for our parents and students who are joining us today, I think you have already discovered the raise your hand option. And what we do is that if students are attending synchronous classes just like this one, they raise their hand if they have questions, and then they can turn on their microphones or cameras in order to ask the question to the professor. So maybe what we can do today is, if you have a question, we'll give you microphone capabilities, and we'll also enable your camera so that you can ask your questions. Okay, so if you want to do that, just please feel free to raise your hand so you can be acknowledged, and we'll give you microphone capabilities. Another is, I'm not sure because I've already turned on your pen capabilities. So kung nakikita niyo po sa upper left hand corner ng inyong Blackboard Collaborate interface, you also have an icon, pencil icon, and the text icon. So I've prepared a short activity for us today para we can be a little bit more interactive. So what I'd like parents and students to do today is to take the pen icon and then start marking, from where you're joining this webinar. It would be interesting to know kung taga saan po kayo at kung from where you're watching this webinar. Okay? Oops. Napalaki yata yung map na yun.
May
we
prize
have
po.
a lot. We have a couple from Calamba. And I'm glad that you're enjoying and circling na from where you're listening in. Okay.
Leo is again joining us from Cambodia.
Right. Wala ba? Kanina nakita ko may pakil and pila. Yun yung unang nag-encircle. And did I see Saudi talaga? Wow. That you could just, if you're using a laptop, pwede po kayo mag-open ng new tab and then go to menti.com. You will be asked for a code, and the code is here on our screen. So earlier, we've already shared the link to you, and I'm really glad that a lot of you are joining in. We'll share that and show you the results. majority of you are new MCL students, parents, and there are also some of you who are watching this together as a family. So thank you very much for tuning in today. Okay, just to give us a framework, an overview of what to expect for today's session. As I've mentioned, we'll talk about learning in the new normal. We'll also discuss some of the tools that we're using at MCL. And then later on, we'll also give you a demo, and we'll also give you temporary accounts so that you can go to the site and see the sample resources inside the course. Feel free to ask your questions at any point during the session. If I don't see the questions, our assistants should be able to answer your questions for today. So again, there are two ways to ask your questions. You can just type using the chat area. Somebody's collating those questions, so don't worry kung malampasan man siya dahil sobrang daming nagchat. But you can also raise your hand and then you can ask your questions via microphone. I think right now we have one who's raising her hand. Yes. Can we give Christina microphone access so she can ask? While we're waiting, Sir James, I'd like to share, are you seeing this? Share the participants for our Menti poll. So majority are new students, kaya marami rin tayong natatanggap na questions about enrollment. 10 are parents, and what else? 6 watching as a family together. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so for the first truth, Sir James has already touched on this earlier. It's really inevitable. Online learning is here to stay. So even if we're having problems with internet connection, even if it's something that we're not as comfortable with, the truth is online learning is here to stay. And for many schools, the internet connection has been one of the most important enablers. And it's also been very useful for yung mga schools po na early on nakapag-set up na ng learning management system, na nagkakaroon na sila ng virtual classes or online classes. And right now, during the transition, it was easier for the schools who have this kind of setup to bounce back from our current situation. This is also true for a lot of workplaces, diba? Even during the ECQ, we were able to transact with some of the businesses, some of the government offices, and this is because they've already set up some sort of infrastructure in order for them to connect with their clients via the internet. I think ngayon, amazing din for me yung mga businesses na nagsulputan na has something to do with online selling or pasabay or deliveries. And there are a lot of individuals which have benefited from the internet because they have capabilities to connect. This is also the reason why a lot of online sites for learning have also popped up. Some of the most common, and I think some of you have signed up to this kasi itong Skillshare, for example, they have a 2-month free access, and then you'll be asked to pay just a small amount in order to access the courses. I think you're also seeing, tama ba ako? Nakikita niyo ba to sa Facebook feeds ninyo, yung masterclass? This is very enticing, no, because they have very good quality videos and the teachers are really known in their fields. Another site that I really like to explore is Domestika. This is more for arts, digital arts, or other software that's being used to produce digital art. So because of that, there are also different modes of learning. And ngayon, what I like to do is to just give you an overview of what these different types are para din mas ma-appreciate natin kung ano ba talaga yung mas applicable para sa situation natin ngayon. So, nakikita niyo po yung figure. This is from ucdavis.edu. And the first mode of learning, which we are very, very familiar with. Kasi, like, katulad ng mga parents, I'm sure this is the mode of learning that you're accustomed to. Sanay na sanay tayo dito. This is the face-to-face type of learning, or what we call the traditional method. Another term that I've heard recently is this is a residential type or the brick and mortar type. So those terms are usually used interchangeably. And what happens here is that all of the lessons are given inside the classroom. So yung teacher tsaka yung students, sabay-sabay silang may schedule sila at sabay-sabay silang nag-aaral sa loob ng classroom. Now, because of the advent of the internet, we have been able to explore other tools like blended learning or other methods like blended learning in order to deliver learning to our students. And ang MCL po, since 2014, all of our courses are already on the blended mode. Since 2014 was the time we also partnered with Blackboard. And since then, we have developed and delivered online courses to be paired with our face-to-face courses. So sometimes, sa ibang mga references po, yung blended is also interchanged with a hybrid method. But for this particular reference, parang spectrum po kasi to, tumataas yung involvement online as you go from left to right of the spectrum. So for this particular reference, yung hybrid, ang definition nila is that, for example, you're meeting students, MWF, in hybrid mode, you can convert one of the face-to-face classes to a virtual class or to an online class. Dito din papasok yung flipped learning sessions where some of your face-to-face sessions are converted online. Yung last naman po, yung pinakamataas yung engagement online, because this is presumed to be fully online method, would be, of course, it would require the internet, and there are actually two types for online. So katulad ng ginagawa po natin ngayon, we have a synchronous method where there's a specific schedule where teachers and students meet. And since they're both together in the same session, there's quick feedback. It's very easy to ask questions. It's very easy to give feedback to the students since they're in one area at a specific time, okay, a specific schedule. And the disadvantages of this is that, katulad kanina, pag biglang nawala ng internet connection or nawala ng kuryente, for example, then ma-absent ka na dun sa online session na yun kasi you can't be there at the same time where everybody else is online. But there's actually another type which is more flexible, and this is called the asynchronous type or the self-paced mode. And using this method, students are able to select kung kailan, kung gaano kabilis nilang iti-take yung isang course, at saka ngayon wala tayong option. Students usually just take the course from home. But, in yung cases na pwede silang magpunta sa internet cafe, for example, or they can do it in a place where there's stronger internet connection, they can select that. That's also under the self-paced mode. Now that we know the differences, I think it's about time that we have another Menti poll. And for this particular poll, what I'd like you to do is, as a parent, considering the safety of children and students, what do you think is the mode that you'd prefer for the coming school year? I hope you can see the choices on your Menti poll. What you can do is, if you're using a laptop, pwede po kayo mag-open ng bagong tab. Or the same with your phones. You can also use your browser. Just type menti.com and then type in the code 453897. We have a couple of votes that are coming in. Hulaan niyo po kung anong nagli-lead sa ating survey. So face-to-face is fully inside the classroom. Online naman, there are two types, synchronous, and the other one is asynchronous or self-paced. So the students can choose kung anong schedule, gaano kabilis. And then the other one is blended, where there are still face-to-face sessions, but some of the sessions are converted online. Okay, let me share the results with you. We have 15 participants so far. I'm expecting around 70 participants. So for those who are still opening their Menti, kaya pa, habol po kayo. Well, this is really interesting, no, yung results natin. Blended is leading, meaning may face-to-face sessions pa rin. Okay, Jason, sure, you can do that. Synchronous is close, no, to blended learning. Synchronous, just like this one. I think may value din talaga if your teacher is right there with you during the session, so you can ask questions and the teacher can give you feedback. And then coming in third is self-paced online. For our third term po sa MCL, what we're doing right now is self-paced. And the last is face-to-face. So it's okay for parents for their kids to come to MCL and attend the classes there. Thank you all very much for answering our poll. Nag-lead na yung synchronous. Let's go back to our presentation. You can still vote, don't worry. So for the 38 participants who have already voted, thank you. The rest, you can still vote. All right. So another characteristic for online learning, flexible online learning, is that it's student-centric. Bakit ko nasabi na student-centric siya? Because it gives the students a lot of options when to take the lessons, when to take the quizzes, when to attend the classes or look at the resources. Kung mahina yung internet connection niya, pwede siyang mag-skip ng session na yon and then just choose a later time or a later date when the internet connection is stronger. Have you also noticed for your kids that, some of them prefer learning at night, yung iba, galing sa school, matutulog muna sila, and then pagdating ng mga 7 or 8 p.m., that's the time that they do their homework. While for some of your kids naman, they prefer learning early in the morning. So, pag ganun, pag flexible tayo, this means that the students have several options to access the course resources. Hindi sila maa-absent just in case hindi pa sila ready at a specific time. Another is that our teachers provide several options for them to learn a specific topic. So, our teachers provide PDF copies of their presentations. They also have videos. Right now, we also have a lot of faculty members who are creating their own video content, sharing them on YouTube, and then sharing them on their Blackboard courses. So it caters to students who are more visual learners. But for those who prefer reading, we also share ebook resources, PDF copies of the lessons so that the students can also read about the specific topic. Okay? Can you imagine, no, yung dating method natin na face-to-face session lang, pag ang klase mo ay 7 a.m., for example, you really have to be there at 7 a.m. and be ready. So kahit na, kunyari, working student ka, medyo poyat ka, and you're not ready for a 7 a.m. class, that's not, you don't have an option. If it's 7, then you have to be there and attend the class at 7 a.m. But with flexible online learning, students have a lot of options. However, what I really remind students is that even though you have a lot of options, even though there's freedom in choosing when or how you will learn, what's really important is that students know that it's responsibility and that students need to take charge of their own learning. Kasi if students don't realize this, then it's also still going to be futile. Kahit na available lahat ng materials, pero hindi responsible yung mga students sa pagsagot, sa pagbasa ng resources, then it becomes difficult, no, for learning to happen. Okay? So there. Now, we have another Menti poll, and this question is, let me just move to that question, is a question about flexible learning. Okay, I hope you can see it. So in this particular question, you will have to type in your answers. The question is, what do you like most about flexible learning? If there's something that you like about flexible learning, what is it? And while we wait for your answers for this particular question, let me share the evolution of digital learning at MCL. So MCL opened in 2007, and as early as 2009, we've explored, I think some of the educators attending this session would be familiar with this, Moodle. It's an open source learning management system, and as early as 2009, we've dabbled with Moodle, and this has really prepared us to develop online content. So this was when EMCL was born, and what we did initially was to train select group of teachers, and then that group of teachers and that group of champions were the ones who trained other teachers. And it was also a very nice experience learning from each other. So we tried to look at the things that worked for our students and then shared it with other instructors. Tapos we improved on what we know. And this has really built a strong online community at MCL. So in 2014, we explored a new learning management system, and this is Blackboard Learn. By 2017, we acquired this, ito yung ginagamit natin ngayon, yung Blackboard Collaborate. And um, we also ramped up our e-library titles by partnering with Wiley. So right now, what we have is an ebook library which students can access via Blackboard, and it contains 12,000 titles. And later on, I'll show you how to go to that library. If you already have a Blackboard account, para dun sa mga new students natin, pwede na kayong manghiram ng books as early as later. Okay? By 2009, and this is also it was the time when flipped learning was getting a lot of traction from the educational community. So we've also produced courses using eFlip. And right now, we're exploring the possibility of offering flexible modes through online learning, self-paced and asynchronous. Okay? So now, I think ito yung pinakahihintay niyo na part ng ating session. So far, are we good? Now, let me try to maximize this. This is the interface of our Blackboard site. Okay, while we're prepping our Blackboard page, let me share with you your answers to our question on what do you like most about flexible learning. It caters to students' learning style and time. Okay, flexible time through pwede maghugas ng pinggan. Thank you for the feedback. Flexible learning provides students opportunity to be independent. I think that's really very important. Take charge of their own learning, diba? Because that's the only yung push nila para mas matuto sila. Okay, student space, discipline, self-paced online, accessible, right? Thank you all for your answers. So at this point, let me share with you the interface of Blackboard. And let me just go back to the actual site. I think a lot of you are interested in fees. Kanina ko pa nakikita yung question na yan. Okay, so I hope you can see the Blackboard interface. Tama po ba? This is actually my homepage. So this is our Blackboard page. And on the institution site, you can see a quick tutorial about Blackboard for our new students and for students who are not very skilled with navigating the site. But to be honest, this is really very easy. Parang pumasok ka lang sa isang website. On your, when you click on your name, you can see your profile. Parang Facebook din siya na meron kang profile. Nakakonect yan sa emails, sa announcements. It also has this particular site where I'm teaching organic chemistry this term. So every time teachers add new content to the course site, students are notified via the activity stream. Kapag merong surveys, pwede rin nila makita dito sa activity stream. So, kung estudyante ka, every time you enroll a course, the system automatically adds you to an online course. So later on, I'll ask you to go to this particular course for BB Ultra new students and parents. I'll give you access rights to that in a little while. So what the students see is that for this particular term, ito yung mga courses, no, na i-take niya. Okay? Makikita actually rin niya yung mga courses na tinake niya for the previous term. But normally what happens is, once the grades are given, we already close that course so that students don't get confused, with where they're going for a particular term. There are also organization courses that students can look at, and especially for support services from student services, from our IT services, and our Center for Guidance and Counseling. Meron din tong calendar, right? And so if your teachers update your schedules, kunyari exams or quizzes, then you will also see that in your calendar. Some of the messages will also be viewable, so messages from students or from classmates, you can also see that here. And grades, tools, and then you can sign out also on this particular site. Am I correct in assuming, Sir James, that new students already have access to our Blackboard site? Do they already have accounts?
Yeah, they already have accounts. They are submitting the documentary requirements for enrollment through Blackboard Learn. So we have opened assessments for them. So imagine yung mga birth certificate, report card, good moral character, para yung mga assignment na nakapost sa Blackboard.
Right. Wonderful. So, yung mga nandito sa meeting natin ngayon, more or less, some of them already have an idea how to go around and how to navigate our Blackboard site.
Yeah, kaya may mga tanong sila na magbabayad na sila. Ganun.
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, makikita nyo dito yung lahat ng resources na ginagamit ng teachers during face-to-face sessions. Minsan, the teachers also share videos. Kunyari, masyadong mahaba yung video na yon para panoorin sa face-to-face sessions. What the teachers do is share the videos online so that when students come to class, pwede na silang mag-discuss about the material. Quizzes and assessments are also online. So, pwede kang mag-quiz kahit nasa jeep ka or kahit nagbe-break ka, kahit meron kang 15-minute break before your class, you can do the assessments or the quizzes. And then you can also identify, the teachers, what they do is they identify the ebooks from our list of 12,000 ebooks, and then they identify which ones are applicable for that course, and then they share that with the students. I'll share a little bit more about ebook resources later. And then messages and announcements, as well as I've mentioned earlier, support services and courses. So on the picture on the right, you will see what our course sites look like. This is an ultra course. Yung nandun sa kabilang page is also a similar interface, but this one is for an original course. We have given our teachers right now the option to choose original or ultra kung saan sila mas comfortable. But basically, it's the same. There are folders, there are modules, and then students can go inside that module. They can take a look at ano ba yung outcomes na kailangan kong ma-achieve, no, for this particular module. And then, dapat pagkatapos ko nitong module na to, alam ko na tong mga bagay na to. So, nilalagay din yun ng faculty members dun sa module cover page. Inside, you can also see, let me check if I can maximize this. Sorry, it's here, there. So this is an example of a module, this one. And inside that module, you have all of these contents. So you're guided, where you should go for a particular topic. Some of the teachers, what they do is they use adaptive mode. So for example, kapag hindi mo pa natatapos yung Module 1, hindi ka makakapunta sa Module 2 para sequential yung lesson at hindi ka naliligaw. Pero some teachers, especially if some of the lessons are independent of each other, what teachers allow you to do is you can jump from module to module even if you haven't completed the first module yet. So it's really dependent on how the teacher would deliver the content to the students. So that's what it looks like. Okay. And as I've mentioned, we also put the grades on Blackboard. So real time, kapag nag-quiz ka, makikita mo na agad kung anong score mo dun sa quiz na yon. Oftentimes, we also give multiple attempts because we also take into consideration, kunyari, nasa gitna ka ng quiz, tapos naputol yung internet. And if we do that, we would usually consider, well, depende sa teacher. Sometimes the teacher considers the average of the 2 attempts, or sometimes they consider the highest attempt. Okay? And then, I'd also like to share this other tool that we're using. So far, ang na-discuss na natin na tools ay Blackboard Collaborate, Blackboard Learn. Within the Blackboard Learn environment, we also have a tool which we call EasySoft, and this is basically a tutorial site or a help site within the system. And when students find something difficult or they have a question on a particular module, they could just find the relevant question in this list, and then they can click and they will be directed either to an article or to a video that helps them with that topic. So, ang kailangan lang gawin ng mga estudyante, hanapin nila yung question mark icon, which is usually found at the bottom right of the Blackboard page, and then they could just type their question there. Okay, it's been very helpful for us para din bumaba yung help desk inquiries because the materials are already available. Okay, another criteria is that high quality educational content takes the cake. It's really very important. Content is king, sabi nga. So what we have done at MCL is we prepare our own content. We have also partnered with several providers, publishers, and course sites that give us materials and resources that will be helpful for students to attain outcomes. So ngayon, meron kaming active partnership with Coursera. I'll tell you more about that in a little while. We also have a partnership with McGraw, which produces, well, they have a wide range of ebook resources, interactive materials, and a set of adaptive questions. So what we really like about these adaptive questions is, for example, the student answers, tapos hindi niya nasagutan ng tama yung question. Ang gagawin ng system, it will keep on giving questions that are similar to these types of questions, yung same topic, and then until na-master niya na yun, saka lang siya mag-move dun sa susunod na topic. Another one is Wiley, which I have introduced to you a while ago. This is basically the ebooks, and later on we'll also show you what the interface for this ebook site looks like. And then in 2016, we've also embarked on a project called Blackboard Course Kernels. So what we did here is we've paired up teachers with students who are really good at animation. And what we do is we create the lessons, the faculty members, they create the lessons. Tapos yung mga students, they help us create micro-learning assets or short videos that we share to other students in the class. So later on then, when you visit the course, you'll also see some examples of the videos that we have produced using this project. Okay, so on this next page, this is our MCL Coursera site. And on the site, you can select from a range of, I think right now we have around 4,000 courses from leading universities and institutions all over the world. And what students can do is they could just select a course, take it, and once they finish the requirements for that particular course, then they get the certificate from the university. So, for example, you get a course that's offered by Princeton, for example. Pag natapos mo na yung course na yon, nasubmit mo na lahat ng requirements, pasado ka, then you get a certificate from Princeton. So, may good news ako kasi last month, or actually this month, May, we have given access to our Coursera site for our alumni, for MCL, college, and senior high school alumni. I think, tama ba ka, Nat? Our sign up for senior high school is active right now. So, kung may kakilala kayo na alumnus, kung meron kayong friend na graduate ng MCL, college, or senior high, you can tell them to sign up and then we will provide access to them for a month.
Share ko lang din.
Yeah, sige, Sir James.
So we actually started offering of Coursera to our college alumni parang last month, right? And we have more than 1,000 takers na for the different Coursera courses. And now, since our partnership with Coursera gave us some more licenses, we're extending the free courses to our senior high school alumni. And we're doing that actually so that kung hindi man sila, kahit wala na sila sa MCL, we can partly help the development of a mindset that actually supports online collaboration and online learning. Kasi ito yung mga, baka sinasabi kasi natin, pilit kapag online learning. So ito ngayon, we are offering Coursera courses and these are for free and they will get certificates. Wala itong grade, so hindi pilit. But we are very happy that we're seeing a lot of MCL wizards who are actually taking advantage of online learning ngayong panahon na wala silang ginagawa sa bahay. So ito yung culture building na tinatawag na little by little we contribute to the shaping of the people's mindset so that we can give online learning a chance. So thank you very much, Ma'am Abby, for bringing that up and to your office for sharing the learning opportunity to our alumni. So sana rin po yung mga incoming students, you can also give online learning a chance dahil ito nga yung new normal at ito yung hindi natin binigyan ng chance several decades ago. And hopefully po, the parents will be collaborating with the school so that we can make learning happen at this time of the new normal. May mga questions po tayo dito about enrollment procedures. We'll discuss that after Ma'am Abby's presentation. So please stay tuned to our online session. Thank you po.
Yes, Sir James, another good news is starting June 1, all MCL students will have access to Coursera for 2 months. So what we're going to do is post the procedure kung paano sila makaka-log in sa Coursera at makaka-open ng courses within our MCL program. For until July 31, they can enroll their courses and I think they can complete until early August. So para dun sa mga new students natin na kasama ngayon, stay tuned. When you open your Blackboard site, you will see the instructions, step-by-step instructions there and how you can join Coursera. So this is really very exciting. We want to maximize this opportunity and explore courses coming from leading universities and learn from professors from all over the world. Okay, next. Another tool is, so this is still Coursera, just a little bit more about getting certificates from top universities, Ivy League schools, and becoming a global learner. Yung mga alumni namin, what they're doing right now is choosing courses that can help them advance in their workplace. Some of them are thinking about moving to a different department, but they're not really skilled dun sa field na yon. So what they do is they take online courses. It's really nice because when we update them, we check kung nakakailang courses na ba sila. It's only been, 2 weeks since they've had access. Pero some of them are completing 6 courses, 5 courses, and they're planning on taking 10 courses in order to complete a specialization or a micro, parang small master's course na siya. Okay? So that's exciting. Another one is Connect, which I have mentioned earlier, which is adaptive. This provides our students practice activities in order to prepare them for assessments na mas mataas yung percentage sa grading. So it helps them with their mastery, it helps them attain their outcomes, and then they can also choose kung kailan nila to gagawin. So meron kang sineset na time, pero kunyari, pagod na yung estudyante, pwede siyang mag-stop dun sa period na yon, and then once he's ready to learn again, they can just log in and then answer that activity. Okay, so this one is Wiley. I hope that Mia is ready to share her screen for Wiley. This is basically an ebooks site. We have, as I've mentioned, 12,000 titles. Students are able to borrow 20 books at a time. And they have that book, at least for this particular period, hanggang July 31. So, kunyari nanghiram ka ng 20 books, you can access that until July 31. And if you install an app on your phone called the Bookshelf app, you can download the book when you have internet connection. Tapos, since na-save mo na siya sa phone mo, you can open the book anytime, even if you don't have internet. Another feature for the Wiley ebook library is you can take down notes, highlight it, and you can even share the notes. Thank you, Pearl. You can even share the notes to your classmates. So what our faculty members do is sometimes they just highlight the important parts or the most important parts of that topic, and then they share it with their students. So what Pearl is showing us right now is the course where our students can access the course site. And yeah, click mo lang in Pearl, and then it gives you the books that are available. So I know that it's very difficult to scour through this list, but what you can do is to type in whatever book you're looking for in that find area. So you can just type a specific topic, and then it gives you the titles that are available under that topic. So nakikita nyo dito na pag hiniram niya yung book na yon, that book becomes activated until July 31. So pwede niyang basahin. Another very important feature is for those who are not very used to reading, yung konting sentences pa lang yung nababasa, nakakatulog na. Meron din siyang audiobook function. So you can just enable that so you can listen to the book being read to you. Okay? I think that if you're doing this for the first time, you will be asked to log in. And then type in a password, put in your information so that you can save resources offline. So, there. So, ang mga common questions ng mga parents dito ay, paano kung, kunyari, isang buong section na yung humiram ng libro, 40 na kami, what will happen? Will others still be allowed to borrow? Yes, unlimited po yung borrows natin. So, if, for example, we have, kunyari, ano ba yung mga subjects na mararaming estudyante? Chem, for example, in senior high school. For STEM students, that would be around what? 400, 500 students, and all of them wants to borrow a specific book. That's okay. You can still have access to that book. Okay? Anong sinearch mo, Pearl? So basically what you can do is to just click on the book, borrow it, and then launch the book. Cool. Chemical pathology. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this, pero let me just magnify it. Oops. Can we see that? There, okay. This number here tells you how many more books you can borrow. So, kung may nakalagay doon kanina, 18, ibig sabihin, ang maximum na pwede niyang hiramin, 20, and you have 18 slots left for you to borrow books that you like to read. Okay. Do you think this will be useful? Oh yeah, okay. So, cool. So, nahiram na ni Pearl yung book. And notice that on the left, you have several icons. So, nandyan din yung read aloud function, move on to the next page, and then save specific notes. Okay, on the bottom part, what you can also do is to just click on the page number and then move on to a specific page. So, like for me, for example, for my organic chemistry class, what I do is we decide on a book, on a reference, and then for problem sets, I just give them the pages that they need to answer. All right. Thank you, Pearl, for sharing this. I think we can move on to the next tool. Okay, so right now, I think it's time for another Menti poll. Please go to a new window or new tab and then go to menti.com and type in your code. So let me flash the next question. This is actually a survey of what tools you think will be helpful for you as new students. I hope you're able to see the question. Hi, Ron. The website for the ebooks is actually Blackboard. So when students log in, there's a course there called Wiley Textbooks. And then students go to that course and that's where they borrow it. So if lang you don't have a Blackboard account yet, you won't be able to go to that site. Ngayon, if you want to download the app, it's called Bookshelf app. So it's a Vital Source Bookshelf app, but you have to create your account, and that account should also be the same account that you're using on Blackboard. I hope that's clear. Let me know if you have other questions about this. We're really encouraging students to take advantage of this tool. Okay, so we're doing a Menti poll on the tools that you feel will be useful for you as MCL students. And Blackboard Learn is the leading tool. But I'm really glad that a lot of you like Collaborate, like the ebook library. It's also one of my favorites, as well as Coursera. Yes, Darwin, you can download the ebooks if you have the app. So you can even read it offline. I hope that answers your questions. Are there other questions that are related to the ebooks? I think one of the questions last time was, are we able to print it in case? I think it allows you to print a couple of pages. But then if you have internet, there's really no need for you to print it, diba? Because you can just read the book on your phones. Definitely you can take screenshots. So if it's something that you want to remember, or maybe if you want, you can just share a quote from that book and then share it on your social media. You can also do that. Thank you. 31 people have already voted. I hope the others can also vote while we continue this presentation. Okay, now we're down to our last criteria. If I'm able to share it. Okay, let's just stop sharing for a while and let's move on to the slide. So far we've covered all of the tools. You've seen how we're deploying online learning. So it's very flexible. Students are able to choose no, kung anong gusto nila. Self-paced online ba? Or gusto ba nila ng blended mode na meron pa ring face-to-face sessions and then some of the sessions are converted into virtual classes. So katulad ng sinasabi ni Sir James kanina pa, it's really time to shift our lens and adapt. And if you're familiar dun sa RNA viruses, na yung coronavirus is actually an RNA virus, one of the characteristics that help it evade recognition of certain drugs and molecules is because it tends to mutate, right? So pag nag-mutate siya, hindi na siya nare-recognize ng mga molecules that are targeted supposedly to kill it. I think we can learn something from that. I think that it now more than ever is a time for us to adapt and shift our lens in order for us to be able to see opportunities. And I think there's a lot of opportunity on online learning. So with that, I think it's now a good time for you to have an actual experience inside our Blackboard environment. So for the parents who are joining us today, what you can do is to just please go on to this site. It's mcl.blackboard.com. And we've prepared 20 usernames for you. If the 01 doesn't work, you can try 02 until 20. So make sure it's capitalized, so capital MCLP underscore the number, and you also have that same password. So I hope you can try it out now, and then I'll also be walking you through the site. If you have questions, again, feel free to put it on the chat. So let me just share with you my screen. Type in the username and password. And then you should be able to log into the site. Meron na po bang naka-log in? You can raise your hand or type in the chat. Yes, thank you, Nani Soto. Wonderful.
Yeah. So, para lang makalimutan natin, Ma'am Abby, there's actually a
Yeah.
question about the percentage or the split between synchronous and asynchronous. Actually po, siguro that's one of the mindsets that we need to clarify because first, siguro we have produced a dichotomy between synchronous and asynchronous that they are definitely magkaibang perspective. Tama naman kasi talagang magkaiba sila ng style when it comes to the delivery of instruction. But they can actually work harmoniously if the educational institution can actually roll out both synchronous and asynchronous. For clarification, Ma'am Abby, maybe you can share our at least yung practical definition natin ng asynchronous at asynchronous in the simplest terms for our parents. Kasi lagi nating naririnig yan eh. Ano nga ba yung synchronous at saka asynchronous?
Yeah, yung synchronous, Sir James, is somewhat similar to this. Yung ginagawa natin na nakaschedule yung classes. So another term is virtual class. So
Real time.
kailangan sabay, right? Kailangan sabay yung estudyante at saka yung teacher na online. However, we have encountered some difficulties, kapag may mga estudyante. Kunyari, 20 yung estudyante mo, pero one of them is unable to log in at that particular period. Di ba parang na-disadvantage na siya, right? So that's the reason why what we normally do is, in case lang, kailangan talagang gawin yung synchronous sessions, we record the sessions and then share the recording on our Blackboard site. So that one student will be able to access the recording and therefore, hindi na siya synchronous. Parang para sa kanya, that session becomes asynchronous or self-paced. So if there are limitations that are encountered, then the student should be able to have options to be able to access the material.
Yan. So to answer the question about the split, I don't think we need to split the delivery between synchronous and asynchronous kasi meron sila nung parehas na options na yon. So halimbawa po ito, we're talking about real-time session which is what we are doing now. This is the synchronous kasi real-time. Ngayon, yung mga nagkaroon ng problema sa connection dahil may mga segment na naputol siya, nag-disconnect siya, then nag-reconnect. Later on, bago matapos ang araw na to, syempre kinakomit ko na sila Natalie, we will be producing already the recording of this session. So, kung kailan mabilis yung connection ng bata, pwede niyang i-download yung mga video recordings na ito, pwede niyang i-review. So, minsan nga edited na yon, yung mas maganda na itsura
Right.
nung version na yon kasi yung mga glitches tinanggal na yon. So para din tayo nagbo-broadcast sa news channel for example. Pag live talaga, medyo mas challenging yon in terms of connection, may mga bloopers. But meron laging available option na recorded yung proceedings. And again, through Microsoft Teams, through Google Meet, pero ito, we're saying we have Blackboard Collaborate. Napaka-capable po ng mga faculty members na mag-deliver ng mga lectures na recorded, both synchronous and asynchronous. So, hindi po natin siya kailangan i-split.
What
Ayan.
I
So,
also want to share, Sir James, sometimes the teachers, kunyari, alam talaga nila na majority of the students do not have strong internet connection. What they do is they use Collaborate na sila lang mag-isa. They do the lectures and then they record that and then they upload it on YouTube for sharing with students.
yeah. Kaya ako, nagtuturo ako ngayon po. I have SS36 course, Science, Technology, and Society. Every 5:30 to 7. Pag tinanong niyo po yung Smart at Globe, pati PLDT, sasabihin sa'yo, yung oras na yan, 4 p.m. hanggang mga 9 p.m., peak hours yan. So, lahat ng mga estudyante nakakonect, plus yung mga nag-work from home, plus yung mga nag-streaming, lahat sila, sa mga oras na yan, for whatever reason, sabay-sabay sila na nakakonect niyan. So, mabagal yung connection. So, talagang challenging for the students and for the teachers to do a synchronous lecture and learning activity during those peak hours. Kaya ang gagawin ko po dyan is, hindi ko na iiwasan ko na yung oras na yon as much as possible. I will make myself available between 5:30 to 7 for students who do not have problems with connectivity. But our sessions will be recorded so that yung mga estudyante na hindi nakakonect at that time can access the lecture in BBL. Ngayon, sabihin nyo po, paano kung may mga clarifications yung bata? Number one, pag may clarifications, ulit-ulitin niya yung video. Siguro naman kung mga 10 beses niya na inuulit yung video, mag-guess na niya yung ni-lecture. Pag hindi pa rin, pwede siyang mag-send ng course message sa teachers for clarification. So the beauty of Blackboard Learn and the use of a learning management system is that yung flexibility is somehow guaranteed for the peace of mind of the parents na yung mga needs ng kanilang mga students, mga anak nila, learning needs will be attended to by the faculty members because of many options available in Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Collaborate. And we are happy that the parents themselves are the ones raising the questions, diba? Kasi kayo yung nag-aalala, paano yung anak ko, parang ang style niyan ganito sa gabi nag-aaral. Paano yung anak ko hindi matanong? Paano kung hindi niya maintindihan yung lesson at hindi siya matanong, hindi na siya matututo? Actually po, totoo yan. May estudyante hindi nagsasalita yan. Sa loob ng classroom, hindi yan nagtatanong. Pero tingnan mo yung Blackboard Learn, doon siya nagtatanong sa course messages. Kasi ayaw niya napapahiya siya di ba? Parang nahihiya siyang mag-raise ng hand, mag-interact in a classroom environment. Pero pagdating sa online, pagdating sa email, doon siya nag-raise ng questions. Walang problema po dyan. Basta merong ganyang facility, available yan through Blackboard Learn, our faculty members will be happy to attend to these concerns. Ayan, turuan lang din po natin yung mga bata na number one, yung mga teachers po natin natutulog din. Kasi minsan yung minsan tayo guilty din dyan Pag tayo nag-send ng email ng 10 o'clock, we are expecting an instant reply. We're not stopping anybody from emailing us do sa mga oras na yon. Pero yung mga replies po, siguro expect natin the next day. So, for the students, ganun din po. We're not stopping them from sending inquiries, clarifications. Yung reply po, we will send the reply to them kung possible na. Kasi yung mga teachers din natin, imagine one teacher with the 5 classes, that's already 200 students. Yung 200 students na yan, 50% nun ang matanong sa email. That's 40 students already. Walang problema, as I said, pero it takes time for the teacher to compose the email, to reply to the students. So, turuan din po natin yung mga bata dun sa gano'n. But at the same time, we encourage them, we motivate them to raise very meaningful questions dahil yan yung indicator that they are engaged in a self-paced learning and they are willing to do things via self-discovery. So, thank you po dun sa mga nag-raise ng concerns na yon. Ma'am Abby?
And another important thing about the sessions being recorded, Sir James, they can always go back to a particular item kung nahihirapan sila. So, walang limit kung ilang beses nila ma-view yung material. Also, what you've mentioned about students being engaged with discussion boards, I found na during classes kasi you only have so much time for your lecture and then discussion, and sometimes you really don't have enough time to engage with all of the students. But if it's a discussion board, for example, that's online, for sure all of the 40 students, would pitch in their answers and share whatever they think. So it's really a
Yes.
good opportunity to
Collaborative.
see true and see how they think. Um, and then I think another important advantage is students learn to compose emails.
Yes.
They learn how to, they check their grammar, they check their spelling, and they learn how to correspond with teachers. So
Yeah,
yun, I think it's
you'll
really
be
nice.
surprised because you will not hear the students picking up in a typical classroom environment. But with these collaborative tools of Blackboard Learn, yan, sabihin mo nga lang minsan na limit your answers to 5 sentences eh. Hirap sila doon kasi gusto nilang mag-share. So that's fine. So, ganun ka interactive and collaborative yung mga tools in Blackboard Learn na sasabihin natin, ito yung mga hindi na di-discount, hindi na may menos when it comes to learning opportunities.
True.
Ayan.
Okay, so at this point, I think a lot of you have already logged in. Sana na-address na rin kanina yung what is the username and what is the password. But inside the course po, I have shared with you, and I hope you can also see this on the screen, 3 modules. The first module is actually a it's a SCORM presentation of the Viewpoints presentation of Sir James over the past week. So if you want to view the resources, you can open the first module, which is a SCORM. And what I really like about this type of learning resource is pag nag-share ka ng PowerPoint presentation, the students, nakikita niyo po ba yun? May mga navigation buttons siya. So, makokontrol niyo yung PowerPoint. Kung may animation, hindi yun mawawala. Unlike if it's just a PDF file, it's not as interactive. And it's very easy to dismiss, di ba? A PDF file kasi, okay, you just have the handouts. But in here, it can be a gradable resource that students can interact with. And in the other modules, you will also see some of the interactive learning materials that we have produced. So this one is a type of game. No, it's a presentation on statistics. No, derivatives pala. Sorry, this is calculus. So you can just go to the initial slide. So this is really basically just a PowerPoint, but students can interact with it. Students can play the animation. And so, for example, this one, the teacher basically walks you through the slide, the deck, and she puts in comments on how you can solve a particular problem. So dito meron tayong example, tapos step by step sinasolve yung problem. So, if your children take the time to read the material, I think they can learn from this type of resource as well. So it's basically a walkthrough of the solution. I think this is a senior high school calculus lesson. Here's another one. This is another activity. So this one's interactive. It's a game. SCORM is shareable content. So this is also a format that's being used in websites. So if you want to prepare your own SCORM and then you have a website that you want to make a little bit more interactive, you can use SCORM Builder. Okay, so for example, this is another lesson on organic chem. So rather than just prepare a PDF with just text, what you can do is prepare an interactive material for students. So, kunyari, mali siya, just click again, and then here, and then another set of questions. So, that's correct. They can also go back to the slides and review the material. So, it's really very interactive. So, even if it's asynchronous, pwede pa rin maging interactive. Okay? I hope you were able to explore that. Another one would be, ito naman po, yung mga video resources naman. So, some examples of, these are some of the outputs that we did for course kernels, which started back in 2016. So, what we're doing is building our portfolio of micro-learning assets. And then, our teachers can just look at these resources and check kung alin yung pwede nilang ma-reuse. Okay, so this is an example of 3D lesson on DNA replication. And I'm not sure if you can hear the audio, but this is recorded by our, nag-graduate na sila ngayon, pero our MMA students.
Through this process, each daughter cell produced from a parent will contain the exact same copy of DNA. Thus, this process must occur with the highest accuracy. And since most of the cells were considered the rate of DNA replication should keep up. In fact, rates of DNA replication can reach as high as 1,000 nucleotides per second. Parent DNA serves as the template for its own replication in a precisely coordinated process, aided by a set of replication factors held together in a large multi-enzyme complex that walks along the DNA while performing its functions. To start the copying process, a DNA helicase unzips the DNA helix at the origin of replication to form single strands. This is done by breaking the hydrogen bonds in between nitrogenous bases. Helix opening is aided by cooperatively bound molecules of single-strand binding proteins that prevent the reannealing.
We have other resources here that you can look at from our College of Maritime on stars and constellations. This one is from physics, about Newton's law, about broadcasting. And this other one is, I really like this because it's in the format of a Nintendo game, but it's basically about balancing redox reactions. Okay, so while our parents are exploring the site, and if you have a question, just let us know, and you can type it also on the Menti feed, or you can type it in the chat area. That concludes the walkthrough, Sir James.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Abby. Palakpakan po natin sila. Walang clap na dito, na audio, na sound effects. So thank you very much for giving us a walkthrough of Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Collaborate, basically. So we're now open for questions. If you want to ask questions about the presentation of Ma'am Abby, please be ready with your mic and broadcast po dito sa ating session yung questions para marinig ng ating mga participants.
Sir James, the first question was about Blackboard accounts. In case they are having a hard time logging in pero meron na silang username and password, they can also email help.blackboard@mcl.edu.ph.
Ayan po. So nakapost po sa ating discussion board yung email address ng help desk for Blackboard. Kamalito po kayo kasi meron tayong help desk for IT services. This one is help desk for Blackboard Learn. So email help.blackboard@mcl.edu.ph if you need assistance on Blackboard concerns. Regarding on the parent portal, I cannot log in although I already gave my data. The password cannot be accepted. Kung ito po ay new student, wala pa po kayong parent portal. So your parent portal will be activated only once the student enrolls. As of now, wala pa po tayong na-enroll, napaprocess na enrollment. Kapag nakabayad na po kayo at na-issuean kayo ng official receipt, that's the time that you can say that you have enrolled already and you can access the IT services. That's the parent portal and the online enrollment. For the students na nandito ngayon, may mga questions about how can I access 1MCL? masyado pong excited yung ating mga new student enrollees that when we gave them already the credentials for Blackboard Learn and 1MCL, lahat po gusto nang i-access. Specifically for enrollment, ang gagamitin lang ay Blackboard Learn. So wala pa po kayong magagawa sa online enrollment as of the moment, yung 1MCL na tinatawag. Kailan nyo yun i-access? After you have already enrolled. So for now, para hindi tayo ma-information overload, let us concentrate on Blackboard Learn lang muna, which we will use for the online submission of documents. Ayan po. So do you have online or chat support for Blackboard Learn? Wala po. Dahil sa sobrang lawak po ng Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Collaborate, baka po kailangan namin ng ng 100 accounts na call center para i-entertain yung mga chats about Blackboard support. So, tayo po ay school. Hindi po tayo kasing laki ng HSBC o ng HP o ng Citibank na kaya lang magbayad ng call center just to attend to 24/7 concerns of students on their accounts. So, yan po yung limitation. Ngayon po, ang kinocommit dyan ng MCL through the office of Ma'am Abby and another office which is the Learning Environments and Innovations Office, kompleto na po tayo ng guide, ng set of guidelines. Babasahin, papanooring video on how to navigate inside Blackboard Learn. And that's part of the attitude that we want to nurture and we want our students to learn at maging part ng habit nila. Number one, magbasa. Pangalawa, i-familiarize yung kanilang sarili sa mga self-help tools na available para po hindi na kailangan ng chat support for the accessing Blackboard Learn. Yan. Ngayon, kung sasabihin po ng parents na kailangan talaga yan para ma-ensure yung support, wala naman po problema. Kaya lang, ipapatong na naman natin yan sa tuition ninyo. Kaya sasabihin nyo, wag na Sir James, tuturuan ko na lang yung anak ko. Which is what we want. So, turuan po natin yung mga anak natin na magbasa. Lahat po ng mga tools, self-help tools ay nandiyan dyan. I-access na lang nila at iintindihin. Sasabihin niyo po sa akin, paano naman kami nakakatiyak na sigurado yan? Since 2015 po, wala naman kaming chat room. Pero yung 5,000 to 6,000 students ng Malayan Colleges Laguna ay nakakapasok naman at natututunan yung Blackboard Learn by themselves, minimal intervention lang from the faculty members. So, ibig sabihin, posible. Ibig sabihin po, makaka-adjust sila, bigyan lang natin ng time at ng support from us, which we did through the self-help video tutorials and reading materials for Blackboard Learn. Yan. So I hope I was able to address the concern on Blackboard Learn chat support. Paano po ang submission ng good moral and report card namin? Through Blackboard po ito. Pwede po ba malate mag-submit? Pwede po. Kung hindi po available, wala naman po talaga tayong magagawa dyan. So, basta po kayo ay binigyan ng access ng username and password for Blackboard Learn, kayo na po ang magdidikta ng inyong submission deadline, kung kailan sa inyong submission capability, kung kailan kayo makakapagpasa, considering that most of the high schools are still closed during the modified enhanced community quarantine. Hopefully po by Monday, we can hear from them kasi may mga schools po na nakakapag-release ng documents, good moral, report card. So Monday po, malalaman nyo po siguro sa mga high schools ninyo kung kailan yung card, kailan pwede mag-request ng documents, pwede makuha. And sa inyo na po yun kung kailan kayo magpapasa. We just encourage parents and new students to submit the documents earlier, as early as possible. Bakit? Ito po yung mga dependencies niyan. Once you submit the documents, we can verify it. Once we verify it, we can give you the go signal already to enroll. When you enroll, you are already secured with the slot. So hindi po natin alam kasi yung buhos ng mga estudyante in terms of sectioning. So kung sino po yung mga nauunang mag-enroll, first come, first serve po tayo, napapasok natin yan dun sa mga available section. So that's the benefit of enrolling as early as possible. Now, clarification then on the guidelines, we said there that you are given 10 days to complete the enrollment process. Nagkakalituan po dyan saan nang simula nung 10 days. The 10 days will actually start once you are given instruction on how and what to pay, how much to pay. So, dun po simula ng 10 days natin. Hindi po yung submission ng documents. Kasi marami nagpanic na nagpasa ako nung May 6, for example. Ibig sabihin ba, 10 days noon, May 16, late na ako? Hindi pa po. Kasi yung payment instructions, ngayon po ay nagba-validate at nagbe-verify pa lang po kami ng documents. We will start notifying you about the dues for payment starting June 2. Okay, so wala pa po kaming binibigyan ng payment instruction, so wag po tayong mabahala. Starting June 2 pa lang po kami magbibigay ng instructions at doon pa lang po tayo magbibilang ng 10 days. Ngayon, pag lumabas ng 10 days, hindi ko nabayaran, anong gagawin? Bigyan nyo lang po uli kami ng queue through course message or through email so that we can adjust your deadline to another 10 days. But, medyo risk po yon kasi baka po makuha ng ibang students yung inyong slot, especially if you have preferred sections for your child. Pero siguro ngayon, under the new normal that we do not have face-to-face classes, baka irrelevant na yung ating mga preferred sections dahil online learning naman po tayo during the first trimester. Okay, the second reason why we are encouraging everybody to enroll as early as possible is that, just like this session, we do not want your children to to be shocked when they start schooling on August 17. August 17, 2020 po ang start of classes. And we do not want them to be culturally shocked about Blackboard Learn, about online learning, about the new normal. That's why we want to prepare them as early as possible through webinars, through a course on how they could navigate Blackboard Learn effectively. Dapat po yan gagawin natin starting July. Ngayon, kung July pa lang po kayo mag-enroll, umiikli po yung panahon ng mga bata to familiarize themselves about Malayan Colleges Laguna, about our learning delivery program, everything that they might need to learn about MCL and about our instructional delivery programs, madedelay din po yan kung late sila mag-enroll. That's why, again, I'm reiterating to our dear parents to make them enroll as early as possible so that we can integrate them to the online orientation for new students. Fully online class na po ba ang MCL? Yes po, because, yes, first term, that's because of the order of the government not to have any face-to-face classes because of the pandemic. Pero lilinawin ko po ito para sa lahat. Yan po ay fully online as ordered by the government. Whenever the government says, okay, face-to-face sessions may be allowed, will be allowed, MCL will always be ready to shift to the face-to-face or residential classes because, as mentioned, that's the flexible learning options that we are providing and we are assuring the parents. Be it blended, be it fully online, be it face-to-face, be it residential, we are ready to implement those learning environments to the students. Is there a preferred PC specification for optimal learning in Blackboard Learn? I think we have posted, meron ba tayong PowerPoint niyan, team? Meron tayong ginawang PowerPoint on the specifications. For Blackboard Learn po, pwede ng mobile phone. Any mobile phone, iOS or Android, you can download the Blackboard Learn app. And through that, the student can actually access the learning module. So, ganun siya ka-convenient. Ngayon, kung computer po ang pinag-uusapan, meron naman tayong mga minimum specifications na aandar yung Blackboard Learn. Kung talagang minimum ang pinag-uusapan, pwede na tayo sa Core i3 na processor. At least 4 gig RAM na memory, at least 320 gig na hard disk. Basta may webcam po, may microphone, parang wala na naman yatang laptop ngayon na available sa market na walang webcam at microphone, tama po ba? So kasama na yan sa basic features ng laptop, kahit nga netbook meron yan. So capable po yun for online learning, at least Core i3, 4 gig RAM, 320 gig hard disk. Ngayon, ang lagi naman po namin sinasabi, yung diferensya po ng Core i3 sa Core i5 at yung diferensya ng 4 gig memory, 4 gig RAM sa 8 gig RAM, kuminsan napaka-ikli na lang, napaka-konti na lang. So we would like to suggest na kung kaya rin naman po, go for at least Core i5. Core i5 na 9th generation, if I am, kung tama ang collection ko, 9th generation na Intel processor, 8 gig RAM for the memory, and 500 gig for the hard disk. So okay na po yan, yung mga ganyang specifications. So hindi po kailangan high-end. Hindi po kailangan na high-end dahil kung Blackboard Learn po ang pinag-uusapan, kayang-kaya po yan. Meron lang pong mas technical, mas taas na technical requirements yung program such as multimedia arts. Kasi rendering yan ng videos, rendering yan ng photos, animation, medyo matakaw po yan sa memory, tsaka may requirement yan na graphic card. Kung built-in na graphic card, at least 2 gig, okay na po yan. Pero kung meron naman siyang separate na video card at pwede may expansion slot, mas okay po na more than 2 gig yung kanyang video card o graphics card para sa mga high definition videos and photos. Kasi yan naman talaga ang ginagamit ng multimedia arts at saka communications. For architecture, basta po yung kayo ng specifications na nire-recommend namin, Core i5, 8 gig memory, and 500 gig na hard disk, okay na po yan for architecture dahil sila ay gumagamit ng mga software na Revit, SketchUp, AutoCAD. Yan, so okay na po sa kanila yung mga ganyang specifications. Pero for non-technical programs, business administration, psychology, entrepreneurship, business programs, accountancy, pwede po yung mga yon, yung i3, pwede na po yon. Processor, Core i5, storage 500 gig, 8 gig memory, per talking of RAM. Mas maganda po kung may expansion slots para kung gusto nyo mag-upgrade, hindi nyo po papalitan yung buong laptop. Accessories, webcam, microphone, headset, software, AutoCAD, Revit, Adobe Photoshop. That's for architecture. And for engineering, parehas din po, tanggalin nyo lang yung mga software na Revit, Adobe Photoshop, and SketchUp. Gumagamit po ng AutoCAD ang engineering. Meron yata tayo for MMA. Yan, for BMMA, BA Communication, and Senior High School ICT Strand, ang core processor na required or recommended, Gen i5, 9th generation or higher, 500 gig, hard disk, 8 gig memory with expansion. Yeah, medyo mataas po yung graphic card, 8 gig kapag dedicated, 2 gig if built-in. And software, Adobe Creative Cloud or yung tinatawag na Adobe CC. Ayan. So yan po ay hindi ka capricious na specifications dahil yan po ay standard o above standard na specifications. At saka ang tingin po natin dyan, hindi lang basta cost, kundi investment. Why? Because we want our students to learn even outside the four walls of the classroom. Kahit naman nagpo-provide tayo ng laboratory, gusto natin pagdating nila sa bahay, nagpa-practice sila. Bakit? Kasi ang natututunan po dito sa mga to na ginagamitan ng mga computers na to ay skill. Okay po? So, yan po. We'll be posting this in the website. para po mag-guide kayo. Yung mga naka-enroll na, ilalagay namin yan sa Blackboard Learn para mag-guide kayo. May mga nagtatanong po na parang in the previous viewpoint session, we promise that they can buy computers in the school. Hindi po kami magbebenta ng computers. Ang sabi po namin, we will contact our suppliers if they can give good deals for the parents and students. We will just facilitate. Ipopost po namin yung pricing. We will assist you po in contacting the supplier. Pwede rin naman sigurong dito i-deliver, dito nyo kukuhanin. Pero kayo na po ang mag-usap para po mas streamline yung procedure and at the same time, ang matutulong po ng MCL ay makakuha kayo ng magandang deal from our suppliers. Ayan po. Siguro ang difference lang yan, pag bibili kasi kayo ng computer sa mga malls, mostly ang ino-offer ay yung mga computers and laptops for personal use. May mga level-level din po ang computers and laptops. So, yung mga for office use or for commercial use, yun po minsan yung mga matataas ang specs. And medyo mataas din po yung pricing nun. Pero kung kukuhanin natin siya ng industrial or commercial pricing like MCL, medyo bumababa po tayo ng konti o kaya nakakakuha tayo ng freebies. So, we'll help you on negotiating for that. We'll give you an update to our Facebook page. That's MCL Admissions Office. Muli po, wala tayong office. Sarado po ang mga offices dito because of the general community quarantine. We are posting our helplines. Tawagan nyo po kami, text nyo po kami para kami tumawag sa inyo. Email admissions@mcl.edu.ph so that we can help you on your specific concerns. Ayan po yung aming mga numbers. How can we enroll? What is the procedure? Asked by my mother. Talagang mga mothers ang maraming questions. So, meron po tayong guidelines. Pakipost sa ating discussion thread yung guidelines for enrollment so that they can be guided properly. Medyo mahaba po kasi kung isi-share po namin dito baka ma-information overload tayo. So, I suggest you read the guidelines para po step by step masunod po natin yon. Yan, please provide good deals from your suppliers. We'll do that po. That's our commitment. Whenever and wherever possible that we can help our parents and students, sabihin nyo lang po. Basta naman po sinasabi nyo at nalalaman namin, hindi kami nanguhula ng gusto ninyong tulong. We are willing to help the parents po. Wala pong problema dyan. We're also in partnership with Apple. So yung mga gusto pong kumuha ng Apple products, I'm asking them for the education pricing. Normally, it's discounted for partner schools. So we'll give you an update once it is already available. Can you also provide where to download or buy software needed? Tama po yan. Wag po tayo sa pirated. Okay, so meron po mga good deals sa Lazada. I-check nyo po kung meron po mga software po doon, mga Microsoft Office na binibigay, mga limited offers. Meron po sa Lazada. So, check nyo din po. But we'll also check with our suppliers. Pero normally po kasi, yung mga deals po na nakuha namin sa suppliers ay puro bundled. Ibig sabihin, baka mamaya, ang kailangan nyo lang na software, Adobe CC, Creative Cloud, dahil ang anak nyo ay multimedia arts. Hindi namin kayo matutulungan dyan kasi kung kami ang magbibigay ng supplier, yung pricing na nakukuha namin for all Adobe products, kasama na yung mga non-multimedia arts, so buo. Eh, hindi nyo naman kailangan yan, so mapapamahal po kayo. So I would suggest you go for online. Marami pong offers ngayon for softwares and licenses. In terms of payment channels, can we pay through GCash? GCash if you have the card. Dahil yung GCash card po, kung di ako nagkakamali, ay may MasterCard logo. You can use that GCash card to pay, but through PayMaya Gateway. Okay po? Kasi yung PayMaya Gateway natin, basta meron kayong debit card, credit card na may MasterCard or Visa logo, you can pay through PayMaya. Okay po? So yung GCash po, medyo hindi pa po nakakapag-settle dyan in terms of the agreement. So ang meron pa lang po tayo ay Paymaya, RCBC, Cebuana Luwilier, and M. Luwilier. Kung magbabayad po kayo through RCBC, Cebuana Luwilier, and M. Luwilier, ang gagamitin nyo po ay bills payment. Huwag po kayong magbabayad sa RCBC ng deposit kasi wala po kaming ganong agreement at hindi po tatanggapin yan dahil wala po kayong account number ng MCL which we are not providing in public. So if you are planning to pay through RCBC, pwede pero through bills payment. So don't ask us about the bank details of MCL because you do not need that in making bills payment. Ang kailangan nyo lang po ay Malayan Colleges Laguna, pangalan ng bata at student number ng bata. Hindi nyo po kailangan ng account number ng MCL for bills payment through RCBC and through Cebuana Luwilier and M. Luwilier. For Paymaya po, you can pay that through 1MCL once we have already given you the assessment of fees. Our family prefers all online learning during the COVID period. Yes, we recognize that and we have a facility for that. Yung mga nag-raise hand po na willing to speak up, raise hand lang po kayo so that we can give you an access to the microphone. And yan, si Nervin. Maybe we can hear from Nervin team.
Ask lang po, ano po yung student number?
Yan. Yung student number.
Hello?
Yes. Yung student number as stipulated in the guidelines. Ito yung gagamitin mo to access Blackboard Learn. Okay, mahabang proseso yon. Kung i-discuss ko dito, malilito ka kasi when you did the online application, may binigay kang email address. Nung may binigay kang email address, nag-email kami doon sa email address mo with the authentication code. The authentication code will be used in the website to check your credentials, which includes the student number and the 1MCL username and email. So, ganon kahaba yung proseso. Kaya kung i-discuss ko, you may want to just review the guidelines on how you can get your student number. Ang pinakamaganda niyan, we are flashing the contact numbers here. Feel free to text one of those numbers. We will call you so that we can give you the student number that you can use in accessing Blackboard Learn. Okay tayo?
Yes, sir.
Ayan. So please text us kung gusto mo ng mabilis na reply on your student number and step-by-step assistance on how you can access Blackboard Learn. The numbers are here in the session. We posted it. We have Smart Globe and you can also email us. So thank you, Nervin. Do we have other questions? Ayan. Paano po yung submission ng paano po ang submission ng document sa BBL. Number 1, pumasok muna po tayo sa BBL para makita nyo po doon yung mga assignments that you need to submit. Yung pong mga assignments na yon ang documents na kailangan ninyong ipasa. Nalilito pa rin po ako. Ayan, meron kaming helpline. Tawagan nyo po yan or i-text so that we can return the call and we'll give you step-by-step assistance. How are the new students enrolled in third term affected? Also, how will be the prelim and midterm exams? Ito po ay current student. So, meron po siyang tanong. May guidelines na po dito as early as April 17. Nasa Blackboard din ito. We are adopting a can pass, cannot fail policy for our current students. Again, it's a very long guideline, so I suggest you check the guidelines in Blackboard Learn. Yung mga tanong na yan na prelim and midterm exams, that will be online also. We cannot conduct face-to-face or actual midterm and final exams because of the pandemic. So for us to enroll our child, we need to access Blackboard Learn, right? Yes po. And we need to text the contact numbers for us to... Ano po ba ang concern dito? So, Actually po, inililinaw ko lang po, meron po tayong default process on how you can check your username and password. Kaya lang po, meron pa rin hindi nakakasunod dun sa procedures na yon ng pag-access ng Blackboard Learn. Kaya po ino-offer ko po, tawagan nyo na lang po kami para mag-guide kayo. Make sure lang po nakaharap kayo sa computer para po mag-guide kayo step by step. Kasi po kung i-reply po namin sa email yung step by step, minsan din po nagigets. And which is ako po, naiintindihan ko yan. Marami pong gano'n na mas okay na, di ba, kaya nga tayo may mga help desk. So ito po yung mga numbers. Call our team members so that you can be assisted properly. Do you still provide scholarships? Yes, nasa guidelines po tayo. Nasa guidelines natin yan. And para po sa mga interesado sa scholarship, pakipost nga natin yung ating invitation for the session on June 4. We have a session on June 4 and that's specifically about scholarship, financial assistance, and student loans. Ayan. So, June 4, 2020. Pero po itong nandito na QR code, baka po ang maklik nyo dito, ang i-direct kayo sa registration, pero hindi for June 4. Pakipili nyo na lang po yung June 4. So it's June 4, 2020, 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon, same time. We'll be talking about scholarships, financial assistance, and student loans. Ella is raising her hand. Maybe we can hear from her, Ella team.
Yes, sir. Bali po, access na po namin yung Blackboard nung incoming son ko for grade 10 student po. And then, meron po dun mga...
grade 10?
Grade 10 po, senior high school po. Grade 11 po, I'm sorry. Senior high school po. So, may Blackboard na po siya and then yung ibang documents po, na-scan na namin. So, ang wala po is yung good moral na provided ng school at saka po yung report card. So, after po nun, ano pong iintayin namin?
Ayan po yung sinasabi ko na, give us until June 2. Kasi po ngayon po, nasa 300 na po yung mga nagpasa niyan. Yan naman po ay bagamat remote, bagamat online yan sa Blackboard Learn. So, yung mga tao pa din po namin ang nagbe-verify niyan isa-isa. Tama ba yung pangalan sa birth certificate, sa report card? So, it takes time po. So, give us until June 2 po. Actually po, isa-send po namin yan. Di ba nakapasok na po kayo sa Blackboard?
Yes,
through Blackboard Learn din po ang aming announcement. So, pag binigyan po namin kayo ng announcement na you can check your course messages for the assessment of fees, punta na po kayo sa next step.
Thank you po, sir.
Ayan. Thank you very much for the question. Marami po talagang nalilito po dyan. So, hintayin po natin yung notification from us. Tama po kayo, nasa amin po yung bola. That's why last week we posted an announcement through Facebook and through Blackboard Learn to give us until June 2 to verify the documents. And by June 3 perhaps, we can send you an announcement and notification on the payment instructions. Ayan. Thank you po. Yan. So, meron daw, inactive daw yung QR code. Hintayin na lang po natin sa Facebook yung registration link po for the Viewpoints on June 4. So, ito po, kakagawa ko lang kasi nitong announcement na to dahil kahapon lang din nag-confirm yung ating speakers for the student loan. So, we have a partnership with an organization that provides student loans. So, yung may mga financial difficulties po, you may be interested to explore ways to apply for a student loan. That will be on June 4, that's Thursday, 9:30 to 12 noon. Online din po yon. So, invited po kayo. Baka may kapitbahay po kayo, kaibigan, kamag-anak, ka-Berks. Imbitahan nyo po sila for our session on June 4, 2020. And for the students, we are organizing online sessions then specifically for Blackboard Learn and our enrollment procedures. That will be on June 5 and June 6. June 5 and June 6 for students po yan. And siguro din para mag-guide din kayo sa session natin ng enrollment, remote enrollment through Blackboard Learn. Ayan. So do we still have questions? Pearl, you might want to cover the questions?
Sir James, si Abby first.
Yes, please.
On Menti, we have the following questions. Estimated fees and down payment for enrollment.
Ayan po, for the fees po, kaya kagaya po ng sinabi ko, we can give you po the estimate as of the moment. For senior high school po, 75,000 per year. For college po, 33 to 36,000 per trimester. So, yun po yung mga estimates. But again, as mentioned, we are adjusting the miscellaneous fees. So, bababa pa po yung fees for senior high school and college. Hintayin lang po natin yung final computation, which is also system generated. Okay, for installment po, laging tinatanong sa senior high school, siguro po, mag-prepare po tayo. If you want to mag-enroll kayo for senior high school for 1 year, kung may voucher po, siguro mag-prepare po tayo ng mga 20,000 plus the voucher so that we can enroll. Yun po yung upon enrollment. For college po, meron kasi tayong options to pay 20% or 40% upon enrollment. So kung 33,000 po yon, more or less mga 10,000 po yung ipe-prepare natin for upon enrollment. Kung medyo difficult pa po, yung inasabi ko kanina, we have financial assistance and student loans which you might be interested. So please attend our session on June 4, 2020, that's Thursday. Paano po kung ang report card ng anak ko ay released by second week of June pa? Okay lang po yan dahil ang enrollment po natin ay hanggang July pa naman. So hintayin po natin yung report card, pero kung nasa blackboard na po yung bata, mag-submit na po siya ng ibang mga documents na available na dahil ipaprocess naman po namin ang enrollment ng bata even without the report card. Ito lang po ang paalala ko sa parents. We are actually following DepEd Basic Education Enrollment Policy of 2018. Last Thursday, naglabas uli ang DepEd ng bagong interim procedures, pero hindi niya binabago yung DepEd memo ng 2018. Ang sinasabi po doon, schools may accept students even without report card, but your enrollment will be considered temporary and you are given until sa original memo, August 31 of this year to submit the documents. But because of the pandemic, DepEd is adjusting the deadline until December. So magandang balita po yan for parents na wala pang report card. Ibig sabihin, maipapasa nyo po yan. Pero gusto ko lang po paalalahanan yung parents that will have problems with the LIS kung hindi makakapagpasa yung bata ng report card as soon as possible. Kaya kung available rin lang po yung report card, ipasa na po natin. Kung hindi po, we have until December to wait for the report card. We'll enroll you. As per DepEd memo, you'll be considered temporary enrolled, but we will already include you in the list of our students. So, magpasa na po, mag-enroll na po tayo through Blackboard Learn. Paano po yung grades ng grade 12 na wala pa, pero sa may reservation na for enrollment, just the same po, ipasa na po yung ibang requirements and we will enroll you. Ayan po. Sir, good for 1 year. Again, for senior high school, 75,000 for 1 year, senior high school. For college po, 33 to 36,000 per trimester. Again, that will be adjusted since we will be reducing the miscellaneous fees for this first term. Okay po, so expect po natin yung adjustment na yon. Meron pa ba tayong questions, Pearl?
Sir, one question po.
Yes.
Can we enroll even without posting required documents through BBL?
Ay, hindi po. Hindi po. Kasi po, kailangan namin ng inyong proof of identification. Kailangan po namin ng mga documentary requirements. Ang ina-enroll lang po namin ay kulang. Pero yung wala, ay wala po. Di ba po? So kung kulang po, pwede natin yung kompletohin and we will give you the chance to enroll. Pero yung wala pong ipapasa yung documents, sorry po, pero we cannot accept that. Diba? Kasi ang hirap po niya, baka mamaya may mga i-enroll na pangalan ng mga tao na hindi naman nag-exist o hindi naman siya. Tapos pagdating sa graduation, nag-aaway-away tayo kung sino ito na bibigyan ng diploma. Diba? So basic naman po yan, basic due diligence po yan, na alamin kung sino yung nag-enroll. So kailangan po yan. So ginawa lang po nating remote yung enrollment pero hindi po ibig sabihin nun ay pwede pong walang documents. Pwede, paano po yung class system sa August 7? Blended po ba or fully online? Malinaw na po yan na fully online kasi hindi po tayo pinapayagang magbukas. Yan. May other concerns pa, Kai?
Last question po, can we also have visibility on this platform just to check on the progress of my sons doing their assigned tasks po?
Yes po. Actually po, yung access ng anak nyo ay access nyo din. Kaya lang, don't expect the school to give you the username and the password because, alam nyo po yan, we have so many data privacy restrictions. Kaya lang, yung Data Privacy Act of 2012 na yan, nababali yan pag ang nag-uusap na ay ang nanay, tatay at ang anak. Takutin nyo lang yung bata na wala kang allowance so hindi kita bibigyan ng password sa internet Tingnan nyo po, pag hindi binigay sa inyo yung username and password. So, kanya-kanyang diskarte po tayo dyan. Pag binigay na po ng anak ninyo sa inyo yung password at saka username, edi may consent na. Lusot na tayo sa data privacy. Pero ang school po, hindi lusot. Hindi po namin pwedeng ibigay yan sa inyo. Hingin nyo po sa anak ninyo. But kung yung ang question ay, do you allow the parents to access Blackboard Learn? Yes. We want the parents to collaborate, to work, to be engaged with the school in ensuring that the learning continuity is guaranteed from both ends po ng school at end ng students. Kaya malaking tulong po kung ang parents ay involved sa monitoring. Huwag lang po kayong sasagot ng mga assessment. Okay? Number 1, hindi natuto yung bata. Pangalawa po, baka po hindi nyo masagot. Joke lang po. So, hayaan nyo po yung bata ang sumagot ng mga assessment. Meron ako nakausap na parent ako, hindi ko papangasan yung pagsagot ng assessment na yan. Bakit? Baka mabisto ako ng anak ko. Mabuti nga siya lang ang nag-aaral. So, yan po ay payong kaibigan. Pwede po kayong mag-access ng Blackboard Learn. Gusto po namin yan to help us. The parents are helping us in monitoring the progress of the students. But let us definitely, we would want the parents to help us in monitoring but not the expense of what? Yung ang learning ng mga estudyante ay jeopardized na dahil hindi na yung estudyante ang gumagawa. At the end of the day, tayo din po ang magkakaproblema niyan sa dulo. Pag dumating yan sa industriya na maling algebra ang natutunan, maling analytic geometry ang natutunan, maling coding ang natutunan ng CS and IT na estudyante, o kaya naman ay maling accounting procedures ang natutunan o design elements and design principles, dahil nung panahon siya ang nag-aaral, ang gumagawa pala ay hindi siya. So, yan yung panahon ng paniningil. At medyo mahirap pong itama yung panahon na. Kaya let's do this right. Let's give this a chance. And malinaw naman po yung parameters natin. Kung ano yung mga roles natin. While we are saying that this is a shared responsibility, our roles are properly defined. Ayan. So, thank you very much po. May shuttle po ba sa Cavite? Meron po, Carmona and Binyan. As long as po napayagan na tayong mag face-to-face classes. Kung online po, baka hindi po natin kailangan yung shuttle. Ayan. On safety lang ulit, if in case magsabi ang MCL na pwede na face-to-face, may option ba to go online? Ito po ay nasagot ko na nung last Saturday. Uulitin ko lang po for the sake of the new attendees. Ang safety po ay wala sa kamay ng Malayan Colleges Laguna. Wala sa kamay ng presidente, wala yan sa kamay ng teacher. You are in the best position to determine the safety and the environmental conditions that we have. So kung kayo po ay hindi kampante na palabasin ng inyong mga anak, huwag palabasin. Coordinate with the school, talk to us, and make arrangements for fully online. We are very much willing to roll it out for you. It's your call. Sabi ko nga, call the shots when it comes to security and safety of your children. Huwag po natin yang ipabahala sa school, ibigay sa kamay ng teacher. Huwag niyo pong i-expect ang eskwelahan na magsabi na huwag papasukin yung eskwelahan, na huwag papasukin sa eskwelahan yung bata dahil hindi lang naman po yung anak ninyo ang may concern. Meron pong mga grupo ng magulang na gusto namang magpa face-to-face dahil ayon hindi natututo yung anak nila sa online. So hindi po tayo magbibigay ng ganung announcement. We can give customized learning program, sabi nga natin flexible, but you let us know. Ayun yung sinasabi kong shared responsibility. What is the nearest pick-up point in Batangas? Real, in Calamba po. Sasakay siya ng, kung taga-Tanawan siya, sasakay siya ng jeep papuntang crossing, baba siya ng Real, sa may tapat ng RSM, sa may Hyundai, sa may Iponyari, nandun po yung pick-up point ng shuttle papuntang MCL. Kung siya tagalipa, sakay siya ng jeep o ng bus, baba siya ng turbina, sakay siya ng jeep papuntang crossing, pero bababa siya ng Iponyari, nandun po yung shuttle. Ayan. That's from Jason. Taga Batangas siya. Yung mother ko ay taga Tanawan, kaya alam ko po ang ruta na biyahe ng mga jeep. Ayan. Meron pa ba tayong questions, Kai?
Sir, last na po, when will the enrollment start and can we pay the tuition fee online?
It's ongoing. Enrollment is ongoing. Wala po talaga tayong counter transaction for payment. Talagang online po. Online through RCBC online banking, through PayMaya. If you have MasterCard or Visa, yun po ang mga online. Ang mga over-the-counter, RCBC, M. Luwelier, Cebuana Luwelier. Again, for RCBC, do not use deposit slip. Ang gagamitin nyo po ay bills payment facility. Yan. Meron pa po ba tayong question bago masunog ang pork chop o maubusan ng fried chicken ang mga uma-attend sa Viewpoints?
Sir,
Yan.
last po.
Meron pa ba tayong question?
Yung enrollment po ay dapat punta sa MCL or online enrollment po ba?
Come again.
Sir, last question po. Yung enrollment po ay dapat punta sa MCL or may online enrollment po ba?
Hindi po, kakasagot ko lang. It's remote enrollment, no office, no face-to-face sessions. Ayan. Why is it called third term? Ang sinasabi po kasi dito ay academic term. So pag sinabing academic term, pwede yang semestral, pwede yang trimester, pwede yang semester, pwede yang quarterly, parang ganon. So yun yung mga academic terms na tinatawag. So specific siya, so ang generic ginagamit na word ay term. Okay, so yun yung ibig sabihin. Kaya third term, second term, first term. Ngayon, for MCL, first term is also interchangeable with first trimester. Second term, second trimester, third term, third trimester. Sa ibang schools, ang first term pwedeng first semester or semester. Yan. So term is the generic word being used. Ayan. Ayan. Meron pa tayong concerns, question, please send the email links for the upcoming meeting of students and scholarship. Ms. Sherry, this is already uploaded. Yung pong meeting with current parents, that is called the Stakeholders Forum. So yung Stakeholders Forum po ay for current students po yun. Okay, so for current students po, ang pwedeng mag-join doon. Yung viewpoints po ay para sa mga current students. Yung viewpoints po ay para sa mga new applicants or new students. Ayan. Yung nagko-comment po na hi YouTube, ayan, sa online learning po, do not think na everything is in YouTube and everything is downloadable or linked to whatever video sharing website, and that made the work of the teacher easier. Hindi po. Mas dumami po ang trabaho ng teacher in online learning dahil hindi naman lahat ng makikita natin sa YouTube ay learning materials, hindi naman lahat ng nandoon ay academic, hindi naman lahat doon ay age appropriate or topic subject appropriate for the students. Ang ginagawa po ng teacher dyan ngayon, i-filter, piliin aling learning materials ang age appropriate. Kaya mas dumami po yung trabaho ng teacher kesa po dun sa sinasabi na dumali ang trabaho ng teacher. Hindi po yan totoo. Ngayon, kung gusto po natin na mag-YouTube na lang yung bata dahil libre, nasa sa inyo po yun. Pero let us ask ourselves, sino ang mag-filter ng information? Sino ang mag-ensure na ang binabasa, pinapanood niya sa YouTube ay age appropriate at aligned dun sa kailangan niyang matutunan? Yun po ang binabayaran natin sa learning program. Yun po ang binabayaran natin sa eskwelahan. So, yun po. Minsan po kasi may mga ganun lang sinasabi na napakadali kasi YouTube na lang. Hindi po dumali ang trabaho ng teacher. Mas dumami po ang trabaho ng teacher. Ang lagi ko nga example sa Viewpoints, tayo nakakaramdam tayo ng sakit, napakadaming home remedies and self-medication tips in YouTube. But we never hit a disease. We still go to the doctor. And the doctor does not tell us, you just watch YouTube so that you can get the advice for free. Hindi po yung ginagawa ng doktor kasi ang sinasabi po ng doktor, ang binabayaran mo sa amin yung expertise. Ang binabayaran mo sa amin yung technique to cure you. Ang binabayaran mo sa amin yung personal care na ginagawa namin sa patient, which you cannot do with YouTube. I think that's the analogy that I would like to share with the parents and the students. And sabi ko nga, that's the adjustment that we need to do. Pag hindi po natin in-adjust yung expectation natin about online learning, we'll just end up being frustrated because nakulong tayo dun sa mindset na everything we get from online learning is downloaded or downloadable from YouTube. Hindi po ganon. Yung mga sinare na video po kanina, nakita nyo lang na may YouTube logo doon dahil ini-stream namin siya through YouTube. Pero yun po ay dinevelop ng ating mga course developers, ang ating mga teachers. Hindi po yun basta lang dinownload. Ayan. So if ever, kung pinayagan na ang face-to-face, paano magpupuli online? Di ba po mas madali? Actually po ang puli online, kaya may face-to-face o hindi, nandyan po ang online. Diba? Tandaan po natin yan. Kaya mag face-to-face payagan ang face-to-face o hindi mawawala ang online. Kasi nandiyan yan yung Blackboard Learn, ma-access niya yan. Ngayon, kung ayaw niya mag face-to-face, di mag-fully online siya kasi nandoon naman po yun. Hindi naman namin naaalisin yun. Baka po ang iniisip niyo, ako baka pag mag face-to-face yan, pag Monday, Wednesday ang klase sa MCL, hindi ma-access ng anak ko yun sa bahay. Hindi po. 24/7 po ang access niya sa Blackboard Learn. Ayan po. Yeah po, we are very patient po with the questions. We understand po the safety is the priority of the parents. Actually po, kung mapapansin niyo po yung tono ng aming mga instructions, ng aming mga tips po, ng aming mga sharing for Viewpoints, we are encouraging parents po to give online learning a chance. Okay? Even though we are capable of blended, we are capable of face-to-face, we are capable of fully online, lahat po yan, capable tayo, lahat po yan, nakadepende po sa inyo yan kung ano po ang inyong pipiliin. Diba? Definitely po, safety po is our concern. Kaya po kami nagko-communicate sa parents para maintindihan nyo po na we have all these options. Sabihin nyo lang po sa amin kung meron po kaming hindi na discuss in the process so that we can clarify that with you. Pwede nyo rin po kami tawagan. Our numbers are posted here. Pwede po ba picture lang po instead of scanning the IDs? Yes po, in the guidelines we said, no need for scanning. May kachat ako kanina eh. Marami po ako naging Facebook friends because of the remote enrollment. I don't mind. Ang sabi ay, hindi po kasi ako makalabas para mag-scan. Naku, hindi namin sinasabing pumunta sa computer shop para mag-scan. O kaya ay bumili ng scanner si daddy. We don't advise that. Yung mga mobile phones po natin, meron tayong mga apps na libre, Office Lens, document scanner. Pwede nyo po yung, pipicturean nyo lang po yung material, yung dokumento, para na po siyang scan. So I would suggest po, partner rin po yan. Sabi ko nga, that's a new learning experience for all of us. Picturean nyo po yon using the Office, and you will get the document as if it is scanned. Wala ngang distortion, klaro pa. And you can send it to us through Blackboard Learn. Ulitin ko po, hindi po kailangan ng scan. Actually po, yung quality ng Office Lens, mas maganda pa sa scan. Ayan. So, pag-aralan nyo po yon para po hindi po tayo kailangan bumili ng scanner. Ayan. Ayan, Cam Scanner app from Myra. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm using Office Lens eh. So, pero meron ding mga iba na free, Cam Scanner and other applications. Pwede nyo pong gawin yon. How would we know if pwede na kami magbayad? Yan po yung sabi ko kanina. We will be sending you a course message. Dalawa po. Course message and announcement through Blackboard Learn. Ngayon, para po hindi kayo malito, linawin ko lang po sa parents and students natin. Once po kayo ay, nakalagay din po ito sa guidelines, once po kayo ay nakapasok na sa Blackboard Learn, ang ating mode of communication po ay through Blackboard Learn na. Para po hindi kayo maligaw. Kasi po baka mamaya po, nag-email pa rin po kayo sa admissions email, tapos kayo pala ay nasa Blackboard Learn na. Take note, iba po yung enrollment advisor ninyo, iba po yung taong sumasagot ng admissions email. Okay po? So baka po mamaya, even though nag-uusap naman po yung dalawa na yan, baka mamaya merong maiwanan in the cracks na information. Kaya mas maganda po, direktan nyo kausapin yung enrollment advisor through the course messaging facility of Blackboard. Also, binibigay na rin po namin yung mga service phones ng mga enrollment advisors para matawagan nyo po sila and ma-explain properly. Ubos na ang ulam, pero hindi pa ubos ang pinag-uusapan sa Viewpoints. Okay lang po yan. We have more series of Viewpoints. We have this opportunity wherein we can discuss the procedures. Gusto po namin yan. Part po yan ng extended service that we are sharing, we are offering to the students. Okay lang po. Thank you very much po. Meron pa po tayong phone-in question. Wala na kay na nag-post.
Sir, no more questions na po.
Opo. Yun lang, I would like to apologize. Baka akala nyo po ay hindi ako patient na sumagot ng mga tanong. Diba? This is already running for 3 hours now, pero gustong-gusto po namin sumagot ng mga katanungan. Reiterate ko lang po na we need to check the guidelines. It's number 1. And second po, yung mga kasi naunawaan ko, yung mga pumapasok minsan nasabi ko na pala before, tapos biglang pumapasok yung attendee. No problem po. I would like to clarify po that we are very much willing to explain. Kaya po kung minsan, kung naka-attend na po kayo ng 3 or 4 sessions, sasabihin niyo, parang yan din yung sinabi ni Sir James ng mga naunang session. Inuulit-ulit po talaga namin yan. And we will patiently repeat and repeat the answers to this question so that we can all be enlightened. And if there are confusion po, please email us, please contact us. We are talking, yung mga members po ng admissions team, we have been discussing this for the past 2 months already, so that para kung sino po yung matawagan ninyo, alam po ang isasagot. Ayan. So wala na pong questions. Again, On behalf of the administration of Malayan Colleges Laguna, Amapua School, and the admissions team, our faculty members, our employees, our students, thank you very much once again for joining us for Viewpoints. And specifically for this session, we discuss about the flexible learning options. Flexibility is not in this Viewpoint session. Every day, we make our learning delivery systems more flexible so that we can be learner-centered and we can cater to the needs of the students. Paumanhin lang po, if we have many adjustments, if we have many things in mind, and we cannot give, minsan, we cannot give definite answers to your questions. Again, we are striking the balance between and among many issues and concerns among many stakeholders, but that is part of the flexibility that we are offering our stakeholders. So, salamat po for being patient, listening to me, to Ma'am Abby. Thank you very much for joining us for the session. Hopefully po, you can join us again on June 4, wherein we will be talking about financial assistance, scholarships, and student loans. Again, we have contacted a partner to give student loans. So, pakinggan po natin ang kanilang presentation on June 4. And for all other enrollment concerns, that will be on June 5 and June 6 for parents and current students. Pag meron po kayong wish list, meron po kayong request for topic na gusto nyong i-deliver namin sa Viewpoints, mas focus about school safety, about mental health, about guidance and counseling, feel free po to discuss it, to share it with us so that we can design a session for you. So maraming salamat po. This is Professor James Ronald Messina from Malayan Colleges Amapua School. Ingat po kayo. Most of the areas will be on general quarantine starting June 1, but our offices remain closed dahil part po ng GCQ na ang school premises ay sarado. But 100% of our business operations are intact and working. So please transact with us through remote ways, through our remote platforms. Maraming salamat po and magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.